10:30. It is Tuesday night, and I am here to review now NXT. It's a Tuesday night. Who does anything on Tuesday night? I do now, unfortunately. Takeover Fallout on this show. We got some people coming in. We got some people going out. And then we got a brand new champion, just as I was getting comfortable, man. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your NXT on a Tuesday recap and review. First up in the night, we have a promo from the new NXT champion, Karrion Kross. He comes out and he's just reveling in the fact that his time has finally come to run NXT again, as he had to vacate the title last summer, but he's got the title now. He puts over Finn Balor for all of his accomplishments as one of the best in holding the title for as long as he did. Good job, Finn. But this is Karrion Kross's time now, and he says for anybody that wants to step up to him, he will make his head roll. And I was like, all right, I would like to see that. I'm down with that. He says, hey, this is the hungriest division on the planet, just putting over the guys in the locker room. But he said that he is starving and he is insatiable. And for anybody that step up, it ain't gonna be good for you, cuz. But this is just a fair promo from Kross. Never really been too big of a fan of his talking skills, but this is definitely a nice promo to kick things off for a new era of NXT. I'm looking forward to how his reign is gonna be booked and who he's gonna be fed as challenges. We already see Pete Dunne coming out the woodwork kind of later on in the show in the promo, but we'll continue to see which challenges come out and kind of make this reign a little bit elongated and as fun as Finn Balor's was and other reigns have been as well for dominant champions. So looking forward to how they structure this as well. But yeah, good stuff from Kross and Scholar here. And next up, we got the first match of the night for the NXT Tag Team Championship. So we got Drake Maverick and Killian Dane versus MSK, who are defending their titles for the first time after winning them at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. But we see Dane and Nash Carter start off this match. Dane just using that strength to his advantage. He eventually tags in Drake Maverick, and he comes in with his knee pads over his jeans. Not a very good fashion choice, I'm gonna say. Not very, very bold, my friend. But yeah, both teams are just really trading the advantage in tag team moves during this first little period of the match, and that's until Drake actually gets Dane back in, and he comes in running like a locomotive, eventually takes out Wesley with a running crossbody on the outside of the ring as we go into the commercial break. Coming back from break, we see Nash Carter tag into the match, and he comes in firing like a dynamo, hitting some nice moves, but that's until Dane gets back into the match as well, starts to take over. But we do see MSK, they come together, they start to take the big man down, chop him down, just hitting a nice array of moves, eventually capped by a 619 and kick combo in the ropes, and a corkscrew senton from the top rope from Wesley, but only for a 2 count. Dane kicks out of that because he's a tough boy, that's what he does. We do see later on as well, as Dane and Drake are going for a double team move. He's trying to powerbomb Drake Maverick on to Nash Carter, who's just lying in the ring. But Wesley comes through, pulls Carter out of the way, and Dane actually slams Drake into the ground instead. He's flustered, he doesn't know what to do. He's eventually caught by a twisting cutter from Nash Carter, and that eventually just takes him out of the equation. That allows MSK to go ahead and hit that elevated blockbuster for the 1-2-3 and the win for MSK, defending their titles for the first time. Lovely. And as they go off and celebrate and they're on the entrance ramp, we see Alexander Wolf of Imperium pop up out of nowhere. He's just looking at Dane. He's trying to understand. He's trying to talk sense into him. And then we see Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner as well of Imperium just come through and leave both of them laying out in the ring as Imperium stands tall and just stares to kind of end the segment off. All in all, this is a very fun tag team match. MSK, one of the most fun tag teams to watch in the entire world, and I've always loved Killian Dane and Drake Maverick's chemistry as just an oddball tag team. So this was a ton of fun to watch, especially the back end of this match. I would say it was really fun to watch as well. I don't know where the Imperium stuff with Killian Dane is kind of leading. I hope this doesn't split up the team of Dane and Drake because I love them. But definitely if it gives Dane to get to do something a bit more expansive in his role here in NXT, that would definitely be fun to see as well. So I'm kind of torn on that, but all in all, a nice little segment and an awesome first match to kick off the show. Next up, we do have a short little video package just showcasing the unsanctioned match between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly from NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. It basically just played all the big highlights of the match and then showed the aftermath as both were like loaded on stretchers and stretchered out of the arena and stuff like that for their injuries. But yeah, nice little video package just detailing the match. We get to see Kyle O'Reilly come back next Tuesday to kind of explain where he kind of goes from here, and I'm looking forward to that, of course. But yeah, nice little video package. Next up, we have a match between Mercedes Martinez and Jessie Kamea. Really fast and physical start. We see Kamea come out of the blocks just right away, getting a good bit of offense, and pretty much for the duration of this matchup until the end. Mercedes ducks a move and hits a nice little leaping knee to the jaw, just a jawbreaker, and hits that Death Valley driver for the 1-2-3 and the win. And after the match, after Kamea is laid out, she still won her money for what happened a couple weeks ago and just joining Aaliyah in that tag team championship match. So she shakes down Robert Stone, she gets her money, she's counting it, and then she goes up to the announce table like, hey, Raquel Gonzalez, I'm talking to you. Like, congratulations, champ, you did it. But I'm coming, baby, I'm coming. And I'm like, ooh, yay. Like, this is going to be exciting. A hoss fight between those two women. I'm looking forward to that. Just come on now, you can't knock that. But yeah, this is exactly what it needed to be. And I am definitely looking forward to that matchup on all levels. So yeah, definitely good stuff. Next up, we get a promo from Legado del Fantasma. We see Escobar just talking about TakeOver, how he retained that TakeOver, talks about bringing the Cruiserweight Championship from the side show to prime time, to the main show, and we love to see it. You done great work, big fella. And he talks about the legacy and lineage of fighters in his family, just like his father was, and like his son will be as well. Looking forward to little Escobar running around here. But he says he's opening up this open challenge, and Kushida answers, wearing some weird looking trunks, but we're gonna overpass that because this match was awesome. He starts out with a drop kick before the match can even kick off. We get in and they're just trading fast shots, a lot of counter wrestling, until we see Kushida just send Escobar out the ring and he poses, shows off that body, baby, as we go into our commercial break. Coming back from break, and Escobar is in control, working on Kushida outside the ring. Eventually just has him and swings him into the steel steps, and also a nice little move on top of the steps, just putting on a submission, just ramming his face into the ring post, which is actually a nice little move that they had going on. But Kushida does begin to come back with those usual moves, just going after the arm, trying to get that hoverboard lock on a couple times. We see later on, hits a nice palm strike in the corner. Shote, we love to see it. Eventually gets Escobar up top, hits a nice little superplex, butterfly superplex, and then eventually goes for an arm trap, looked like a Northern Night suplex, and really had his shoulders down, like he was about to get him, but Escobar got that foot up on the rope to stop the count at 2. Now Kushida just has to recover, he has to go back on the offensive. Later on, we do see them, just a nice little movie, just like trading kicks back and forth, just like high kicks, which is very fun to watch. But we do see the end of this match as Escobar is going for the Phantom Driver. Kushida rolls out of it. He rolls through for a 2 count. Escobar rolls back through for a 2 count. And then Kushida rolls back through and sits down on it, gets his butt on the ground for a 1-2-3. And the win. Kushida has won the Cruiserweight Championship. Oh my gosh, the reign of Escobar is over. This is not the way I expected it to end either. I'm very saddened to see that reign end. But I love Kushida. I'm looking forward to what he's going to do with the title. This was an awesome match. A lot of counter wrestling early on that I love to see. And both of these men just trading high spots and finding new and inventive ways to win, especially Kushida with that nice butterfly superplex and that arm trap suplex as well. Just looking... I love those nice ways to win when you don't win with the normal move. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of a roll-up either, but I'll take it when the match was this good, frankly. I'm looking forward to where Escobar goes from here as well. I hope he kind of gets out of the Cruiserweight ranks and kind of moves up to doing more big boy stuff, kind of like Isaiah Swerf Scott has been doing. But yeah, definitely an awesome match between these two, and looking forward to where they both kind of separately go from here. So yeah, this was awesome stuff. We get a nice little short video package from Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, just talking about the events of TakeOver, Imperium, all that. And even though they didn't win all the fights, they came out stronger as a unit and they passed every test. And that's the important part, right? Cool, we gonna rock with that. But Thatcher says, hey, we go after finishing what we started, and now they're going for those NXT Tag Team titles and MSK. I am looking forward to that matchup. That is not something that we got in the tournament, and I'm looking forward to see it happen. So I can't wait for that in these coming weeks. Awesome. Next up, we get a promo from the new NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez. Dakota Kai introduces her and she comes out and Raquel is showered with "You Deserve a Chance," which she does because she's worked her butt off for this, which she kind of talks about in the promo. She says a year and a half ago, her debut was supposed to happen on TV and it didn't. She wasn't ready, but now she is. She works her butt off for the past year and a half and now she's the NXT Women's Champion. She puts over Io Shirai, she puts over Dakota Kai as well and thanks her for everything that she's done since she's debuted at TakeOver Portland as well. And then the lights go out. And then we see Frankie, Monet, the newly repackaged Taya Valkyrie, just come through. She got the cute little dog with her, and she stakes her claim for this NXT Women's Division as well. Talks about the division pretty much being hers now. She says, hey, things are about to get a lot more shinier and a lot more bougier as well. And Kai and Gonzalez are like, who is this girl? like who is she? They're like, hey, I'm in a good mood. And Gonzalez is like, but if you interrupt me again, bro, like I'm gonna stick that dog where the sun don't shine. And I was like, whoa, calm down. We just having fun. We having fun now. But Frankie does eventually leave, and then surprises ensue. Like right after this, Rhea Ripley's music hit, the new Raw Women's Champion. She comes out, and her and Raquel get kind of face to face. But eventually, the anger that they had back in NXT it subsides. They hug. They get together. They're all lovely and stuff like that, and just looking at each other's titles like, hey, we did this. But the fun ain't over. Bianca Belair, the new SmackDown Women's Champion, she comes out right after, and they all three just celebrate in the ring. They put a picture up of those girls back in NXT, and it's clear that NXT is running women's wrestling in WWE. So this was an awesome and beautiful segment, just bringing it all back around, especially for those three women who have those titles. This was just an awesome moment for them to kind of revel in the fact that they all kind of came from the same place, and now they're in the big positions that they are now. So that was awesome. The debut of Frankie Monet was what it was. I didn't really care too much for the promo, but I'm a fan of Taya's in-ring work, so I'm definitely looking forward to see how that kind of shines through when she eventually debuts in the ring and how her character is kind of fleshed out. But yeah, this was an amazing little segment for everybody involved, definitely. Next up, we got a matchup, the Grudge match between Isaiah Swerf Scott and Leon Ruff. As this match starts, both men get nose to nose, forehead to forehead, and Ruff comes out with a freaking flurry. He was moving fast as lightning. That joint was crazy. He was just hitting a bunch of high impact moves trying to take Scott out, but he's eventually cut off with a nice Russian leg sweep off the top rope, which is followed by a pump kick on the outside to send us into the commercial break. Coming back from break, and Scott is still in control, just coming back and working on Ruff in the corner. He hits him with a good number of chops, just trash talking him in between. He's like, bro, I told you we were done, like we're finished. Hits him with another chop, and Leon Ruff didn't like that, not one bit. He comes back with a nice array of slaps and just a good array of moves just to take back control. Eventually we see them battling on the top rope later on, and Ruff hits a nice Hurricane Rana from the top, but Scott kicks out at 2, unfortunately. Leon Ruff later on in this match had some nice little reverses with a couple of head scissors as well to get out of some tough situations, but we do see the end of this match as they're battling again on the top rope. Scotty thinks better this time. He drops, it just falls to the floor, and Leon Ruff just falls on the turnbuckle head first. That allows Scott to go ahead and hit that JML driver for the 1-2-3 and the win in this Grudge match. He celebrates later on, but we do see later on, Leon Ruff ain't finished yet. He attacks Scott backstage as he's in the middle of the interview and hits him with the rolling cart to kind of end things off as well. But yeah, this is a nice little matchup between these two. These two have really great chemistry, and Scott is really coming to his own as a heel, I believe. It's definitely just showing in his actions and his moves in the ring, even though he is very flashy, and Leon Ruff is just the consummate baby face. So I love the just chemistry between those two. Definitely think Scott should have got the win, which is exactly what happened. He needed something to kind of push him further as a heel going further on NXT and in this feud as well. So definitely glad that he got the win. I guess it's not over between these two. After a Grudge match, that's what it's kind of supposed to do. So we'll see what happens afterwards. But yeah, outside of that, just really good stuff here tonight from those two. Last up in our main event, we got the 8-man tag match. We got The Way versus Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, and the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. We do see Loomis and Theory start off this match, and pretty much throughout the first half of this match, we see the face team pretty much in control, just using their wide array of moves and talent. We do see Indy Hartwell try to get in cahoots with Dexter Loomis a lot throughout this first period as well. Eventually almost gets close enough to get a little smoochy, but Candice LeRae pulls her out the way, and Johnny Gargano attacks Loomis from behind as we go into the commercial break. Coming back from break, and Bronson Reed tags into the match for the first time, and he comes in dominating as the thick boy does. Eventually takes out both Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory with the double Samoan drop. That was really impressive. We eventually see Candice dive off the top rope onto Reed as well and just bounces off like a pinball, which was very fun to watch as well. But this match completely breaks down. Melee, chaotic. We see Moon eventually hit a suicide dive on Gargano, and LeRae do the same thing to Dexter Loomis on the outside. We see Reed throw Shotzi to the outside onto everybody. Like, it completely broke down, definitely. But we see later on, as Loomis has the silence on Johnny Gargano in the middle of the ring, Indy is conflicted because that's her homie, that's the Gargano, but that's her man, or at least trying to be her man. So she just lays out in the middle of the ring, plays dead. Dexter Loomis turns around, breaks the silence, and has compassion on what he didn't see, and just Indy laying out in the ring. Eventually picks her up and takes her to the back, and we see Indy like, I got him. Yeah, that was interesting to say the least. But we do see the end of this match come. Ember Moon is on Bronson Reed's shoulders and hits that Eclipse on Austin Theory, just leaping off those shoulders. And eventually we see as Theory is hit from splashes from his tag team partners, nonetheless, accidentally. Bronson Reed goes up top and hits that tsunami splash for the 1-2-3 and the win for himself and the women's tag team champions. This was a very, like I said, chaotic and fun main event. I didn't like the infiltration of the Indy and Dexter storyline in it. I think it played too much of a focal point, really, and I wasn't the biggest fan of the storyline anyway, but I definitely thought that it did a little too much with this one. We'll kind of see where that progresses in the next couple weeks, I guess, but definitely glad that Bronson Reed won. I definitely think he should challenge for the NXT North American Championship again, hopefully, and continue to rise his stock here in NXT. But yeah, this is definitely a fun main event to watch. A good way to end off the show for the first night on Tuesday night. I'm still trying to get used to that. For the first night for Tuesdays on NXT. All in all, a good number of surprises on this post-takeover episode of NXT. We got a new Cruiserweight champion. We'll see where his reign, along with every other reign on this roster for the new champions, Raquel, Karrion Kross, and MSK, kind of go from here. We got the debut of Frankie Monet just stepping up to Raquel in an already stacked and loaded NXT women's division. So we'll see where she kind of fits in these next couple of weeks and months. But yeah, everything that's happening post takeover, I am looking forward to, and seeing just how they structure these title reigns and these new feuds coming up. But I'm looking forward to everything that they're doing. It's a good time. We're on Tuesday nights, and I'm looking forward to everything that NXT has to offer. But a good show post takeover. That is going to be it from me. You will see me tomorrow for AEW recap as well, and we just gonna be running. It's not the Wednesday Night War anymore, but it's still a war. We'll see. But that's gonna be it from me. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your Tuesday night. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'll catch y'all later.